All right, good evening, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to another video from Chris Keeter Watch Reviews. Tonight, this is sort of a long-term owner's review of the Hamilton Khaki Auto. If you've seen one of my earlier videos, you saw that I already did the Hamilton Khaki Mechanical, but this one I'd actually purchased about 6 months prior before that watch. But I never got around to reviewing it. So I wanted to discuss this watch, talk about some of the similarities and differences from the other mechanical that I had, or the other Hamilton I had reviewed, and just discuss it and give you my thoughts on what it's been like to own this watch for about a year and a half now. So Hamilton, if you don't know, they are a Swiss watch group. They started off as an American watch group in Lancaster, PA, back in 1892. It's nearby to where I live too, in central Pennsylvania. So this brand kind of holds dear to my heart, as I own 3 Hamiltons and I'm looking to purchase a 4th. Stay tuned to that. Hopefully, I will have another one in the coming months. So now. They moved to Switzerland in 1969, and they officially became part of the Swatch Group in 1982, and that is where they currently reside. So Hamilton has a whole bunch of watches underneath the Khaki line. These are basically going to be reissues of military watches from the 50s and 60s, definitely from the Vietnam War era. So this particular one is the auto because this is not a hand wound movement, even though you can hand wind it like this. This is the automatic version. As you can see here, it utilizes Hamilton's H10 movement, which is it's the Swatch Group's 80-hour power reserve movement, the Powermatic 80, if you will. Tissot uses it, Certina uses it, Mito uses it, and Hamilton uses it. And it goes by different names depending on which brand you're looking at, but Hamilton calls it the H10. Now, this watch is going to be the same diameter as the mechanical, so they're both 38 millimeter watches. However, this has a shorter lug-to-lug than the mechanical. I noticed the mechanical wears a little bit bigger on the wrist than the auto does. And for an automatic, this watch is actually pretty thin. You can see it has a slightly domed sapphire crystal. Thickness clocks in at around 10 millimeters, which is only about 1 millimeter more than the mechanical version, which, like I said, for an automatic, it's pretty good. So it's, like I said, it's an automatic movement, hacks and hand winds. Pull the crown all the way out. See, the second hand stops. Put it back, and it goes. And like I said, you can still manually wind it if you need to. Now, the dial is, as you can see here, it has the 12-hour counter as well as the 24-hour counter. And I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. You can also see there is some slight texture on the dial where the larger Arabic numerals are. It has a simple date cutout at the 3 o'clock position, and at the bottom it says Swiss made. All stainless steel construction. The sides of the case are brushed, but the bezel is actually polished. That is the one negative I'm going to point out about this watch. The bezel, because it is polished and there is no protect on, it's not like a dive watch that would have like a timing bezel or anything like that. This is just a straight polished bezel. Scratches very easily, and I'll see if I can maybe zoom in here a little bit. You can see it's got some wear along that bezel. So that's going to be the one negative I'm going to throw at this watch. Now, the watch came on a leather strap, but I was looking for something on strap code, and I came across a bracelet that it was meant for a Seiko watch, but it also fit perfectly the Hamilton Khaki Auto 38, and only this particular reference model. Don't ask me why. That's a question for strap code. You can ask them about that. But it did fit perfectly. So I picked up a nice strap code Super Oyster bracelet. It's got the perfectly nice milled clasp, double locking mechanism for added security, and it just, I haven't taken it off this thing since I put it on the bracelet well over a year ago. Normally I like to interchange straps and stuff like that, but with this watch I have not done that. This has become my daily beater around the house. I've worn this hiking Fell into a stream with it, no problems whatsoever. This thing has 100 meters of water resistance, whereas the manual wind Khaki mechanical only has 50 meters of water resistance. So this is definitely more secure. You can wear it swimming, shouldn't be an issue. I would have preferred if it had a threaded crown, but it doesn't. So, hey, that's just the way it is. I don't know if I mentioned it before. The crystal is sapphire. There is some anti-reflective coating on it, but not as good as some other watches in my collection. But, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable for the price. I paid about $350 for it on Joma Shop. Great place to take a look at watches. They are not a sponsor of this video. I don't have any sponsors, but I do recommend them if you're interested in purchasing watches. You will get great deals from entry-level pieces from Orient all the way up to A. Lange and Vacheron Constantin or Rolex. Great place to look. So, after a year and a half, this watch has just been absolutely fantastic for me. Like I said, I've worn it in a whole host of situations. I've never had any issues with it whatsoever. For $350, there is almost no better deal on a daily wear Swiss timepiece. I don't think you can do much better than this. It is not a dress watch. You might want to look at maybe like a Tissot or a Certina in that price range if that's what you're looking for. But as a day-to-day type watch, this watch just checks off all the boxes as far as I'm concerned. So let me go ahead and just give you a wrist shot with it. See that? My wrist is 6 3/4. As you can see, wears absolutely perfect. Perfect size, perfect dimensions for someone with my wrist size. Wears thin. I have worn it to work with dress shirts and khakis. It slides under the dress shirt, no problem. And like I said, it's not too thick, and the bracelet on it is just great. So thank you, Strap Code, for that. These indices are loomed. I'm going to go ahead and charge it up for you real quick here and see if I can't get these to shine up. All the Arabic numerals are, and the handset is loomed with what I'm going to go ahead and assume is C3 Super Luminova. Don't quote me on that, though. So let me try and see if I can't get the light off here and see what we got. There we go. As you can see, looks fantastic. See the numerals and the hands show the loom better than the numerals do, but they are loomed if you're in a darkened room. I've come in from wearing this outside and went into the bathroom, and the thing just lit up like a Christmas tree. It was pretty cool. So those are my thoughts on the Hamilton Khaki Auto. If I left anything out, please feel free to comment or leave a question. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, thank you for tuning in to another video of Chris Keeter's Watch Reviews. I'll see you guys soon.